Hey guys, I want to talk something. It it may affect us all, especially if we got wives or girlfriends or kids. And it's the sex trade. Sex slaves, stuff like that going on in a SHTF situation. That's another area that could be a possibility of people coming around trying to get your girlfriend, your wife, your sisters, your nieces, um, your kids, and taking them and basically selling them off, selling them into the world of prostitution. It's going on now, hot and heavy. I mean, these gangs, these cartels, these rich people, you know, even government officials throughout the world is part of the sex slave industry. But in a SHTF situation, it's going to be bad. I mean, because these people are going to prey on women, kids. And when I talk kids, I'm just not talking girls. I'm talking boys and girls, because there's a lot of sick pricks out there that likes little boys just as well as little girls. And we're going to have to really keep our guard up. I mean, if somebody comes in to try to rob you, or you got to keep that in your mind. If they get past me, my wife or my daughters or my sons or my nieces or my nephews are going to be sold into that. So you're going to have to fight with everything in you, because that could be a possibility. They're after preps and food, but they're also after the human, to take them, to sell them, or to trade them off for drugs or food or whatever. And that is going to be a lot of business dealings with people. I mean, there are going to be a lot of people who goes out and scavenges for stuff, and they're going to go to the local sex traders for that little girl or for that woman or for that little boy. It's sickening, you know, that, but that's going to be part of reality. I've seen some videos and I've seen some comments, um, and everything, but that is going to, in a SHTF situation, that is going to be part of our reality. If you go to a trading center, they're going to be, I guarantee you, one or two people there selling sex slaves, because there's going to be no rule of law, and they will probably have customers lined up around the block. And it's crazy how people are going to act. They're going to lose all their morals. They're going to lose everything and convert back to the way people the way we used to be. And savages, basically, when it comes when it comes down to that. Because just look at our world today. The sex slaves industry is booming. I mean, there's people all the time, kids and women all the time, disappearing, and they wind up in Asia. They wind up in, the Middle East. They wind up in Mexico, Central America, South America. And these people, they keep them doped up where they can't do anything. You know, they get them hooked up on drugs and stuff like that, and they just use them until they're all used up. But have you guys thought about this? You know, we think about the marauders. We think about the cannibals. We think about, you know, everything. But have we thought about what would be the, you know, if 2 or 3 people trying to come in and raid your camp, are they really there for the food and the supplies? Are they there for the women, the children, to take and sell them? You know, I got boys here, and that's why I say, that's why I am so, people can't understand why, Mike, why would you shoot this person? You know, this person could be an asset. This person, they might just want to come in and this or that. You're going to have to take a hard stance. And outsiders, even, you could have a member of your group betray you. Because that's going to go on. Just because you're friends or your family with people in your group, people's instinct, people's greed is going to kick in. And say your cousin that you grew up with, say somebody, hey, let us come in and take the women and everything, and we'll give you this and this and that and set you up. And if you guys are struggling, I guarantee you, your cousin is going to say, okay, I'm going to be on guard duty so-and-so. And they're going to let them in, roll right in there and take them. Because that's the way everybody thinks, oh, I'm in a group, you know, we're going to be okay. But that group is made up of individuals. And each individual in that group is not going to have the same outlook and the morals as you have. And they're going to betray the group. You know, I get here, I listen to these people. Just because you're in a group, yes, get in a group. Have like-minded friends and family and everything. That's cool. But don't let your guard down, because a group will betray you. And the sex slave industry, they can offer, the people who's going out doing this, and they can offer more to that individual than the whole group can to that individual. And people's going to buy into that. They're weak. You know, they're going to have weak minds. And they're going to think, well, I can't keep taking this. If I just let them in, you know, and take this or take this person or take that person, you know, it's going to, you don't know what they're going to think. Because they don't care. They're just out for themselves. And that brings up another subject. Say you go to a trading area and there's a tent set up and they got sex slaves in there. You know, young kids, boys, girls, they got women. How are you going to react? Now, granted, you're there in the middle of a trading center. You're going to be armed. They're going to be armed. How are you going to act? You know, are you going to start a gunfight right there in the middle of the trading center? Or are you just going to let it go? Me, personally, I would just let it go, but I would really visualize the people going into the tents and coming out of the tent and the people running it. Because that way, if they come around my area, I'll know their faces, and then I will just instantly take them out because I know what they're up to. You know, a lot of people will comment, well, I would just start shooting. You start shooting, you could hit those kids in that tent. You could hit the women in the tent. You know, like I said, bullets don't have eyes. I've said this on numerous videos. and you're going to be outgunned. So the best thing to do is watch who's going in, who's coming out, and who's running it, who's working the tent. Then when you get back to your area, your home, or your bug out area, whatever it be, in a week or so, or a few weeks later, whatever, those people come around, then take them out. Because you will know their faces and you will know what they're up to. But it's going to be a very dangerous time because they're going to be everything, man. They're going to be drug addicts. They're going to be perverts. They're going to be so much thrown on us and at us that we're going to have to keep our guard up. And the people who make it through an SHTF situation, we are going to be some strong mother effers, because we're going to see a lot of stuff that people would never believe seeing. And we'll probably have to do a lot of stuff people would never believe doing just to survive. But our kids will be protected. Our kids will grow up strong mind and strong will. And it's crazy. I mean, you know, if you guys have kids like me, you know, you tell them don't talk to strangers, don't go around strangers and everything like that. But in this society today, we're the outcasts of telling our kids not to do that. Oh, you're being unsociable. You're making your kids outcasts because they don't want to talk to people. Look at the freaks and the sickos out there today. And just look how bad it is right this minute. Now, in a SHTF situation, it'd be 100 times worse. So instill in your kids now to beware of people they don't know. And and in a SHTF situation, these sex traders are going to use kids to get to other kids, because kids don't care. Kids are going to run and they're going to play with other kids, and they're going to use these kids. They're going to have kids go up and see some kids out playing, and they're going to start playing with them and say, hey, let's go over here. I found some baby rabbits or some ducks or something like that. Let's go check them out. And the kids going to be kids. They're going to say, okay, and they're going to take off. And when they get there, the sex trader's going to swoop in, snatch them, and gone. So you're going to have to talk to your kids about that scenario as well. And you guys are going to have to watch out. If you see kids coming up that you've never seen before, let it be a red flag. Watch them. See what they're up to, how they're acting, if they're trying to get the other kids away. And let the other people in your group know what's happening, and quietly, if it does happen, quietly follow them and catch the sex traders in the act and take the sex traders out. You know, the kids that's doing it, there's numerous reasons. They could be threatened that their parents are going to get killed, or their brother or their sister's going to get killed if they don't do it. You can't hold the kids responsible. But the adults, you damn sure can hold responsible, and you can take them out. There's so many scenarios I can go through right now. And there's hundreds of them, how they don't have to come in and attack your group to get the people, get the women, get the children. They can use other means, other people, other ways to get what they want. You know, they could pull up and with 50 people to a group of 10 and say, hey, if you don't give me her, him, we're going to take you out. And then we're going to come in and take them anyway. They can use, what is that called? I even forgot the word it's called. But they can use tactics like that, you know, fear tactics, you know. It's common. I mean, you don't believe me? If for you guys who likes that Walking Dead series, watch how Negan does other groups. Look how he forces them to his will. And they will be people out there like that. Number one, because that's the way the world is. Number two, because people watches stuff like that and fantasizes about being Negan or being Daryl or being, who else, Rick. You know, I don't watch it. My wife does. But there are people out there who watches these TV shows like that and fantasizes about being that person on TV. And they're going to try it in a SHTF situation. It's just, you know, the sex trade, and the sex trade will be a very lucrative industry. I mean, people won't care. Men and women won't care as long as they're able to get them a piece, get off. They don't care if they're little, if they're, you know, teenagers or adults. They don't care if they're tied down. They won't care because today they don't care. In a SHTF situation, it'll be 100 times worse. People won't care as long as the people gets their jollies off. So if you got little ones, you got wives, you got girlfriends, you got sisters or nieces, or you know what, you're going to have to really, really watch them, especially the kids. You know, that's why I am so protective, because a lot of crap's going on today. And our government, our justice system won't do anything about it, won't go hardcore on them because there's too much money going out. And that same thing is going to happen, but it's going to be worse in a SHTF situation. You know, they can roll in and people in a small town are barely hanging on, and they can bring extra food in and extra medical, and they can set up base operations, and all of a sudden that small town's turned into a countywide brothel of sex slaves. And the people in that town will be their customers, will be helping them, or they'll wind up dead, buried somewhere, floating in the river with a bullet in the back of their head. That's the way these people are going to operate. Because there will be no rule of law. There will be people desperate enough to, sell their soul for a piece of bread? And that's what they'll be doing to these sex slavers, is selling their soul, selling their morals, selling out in order to stay alive. But like I said, I can go on and on this subject. And guys, gals, that is one major thing you're going to have to keep an eye out for. And you guys are going to have to come to your conclusion of what you would do. But you'll have to be smart, because you're going to be outgunned by them. So you're going to have to be smart about it. But like I said, that's why I shoot first and forget to care second, because I'm not going to take a chance on something bad happening to my boys, you know, or my wife, or, you know, anything like that. It's not going to happen. As long as I'm breathing, it's not going to happen. So tell me what you guys think, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Everybody be safe, and bye for now.